And so it kind of gives us a lot of broad category to play with different topics, but we're looking at everything pretty much in relationship to really tapping into that authenticity of you, that spiritual essence, the soul essence, if you will, and bringing that into the modern everyday life and living that you can enjoy and use it in a way to create more organically in the way that, well, let me say that, to create in a way that we organically create. There's a lot of us on the planet that do not create in linear fashion. We don't function in linear fashion.
8 billion of us.
And so this show is really about celebrating, hey, there's a whole different way to do your life. And I think what many of the shows on Inspired Choices Network as well are talking about, really being in celebration of that difference, honoring that difference, right, and then finding out how your different works for you. Yeah. And how it can work for you. And so that's what we play with on Aligning Divide.
It's an awesome show.
Thank you.
Love having you on. And I always know when I'm listening to your show or I'm producing your show, I'm like, okay, get ready. She's going to go somewhere. She's going to go somewhere new that I've never gone before. Okay, I have a surprise. Ooh. I want to share with everybody. And the producers, you know, this week it's my birthday.
We do know it's your birthday.
It's your birthday.
And I have a birthday request. I have a request that everybody that's watching this or listening to this, if you would go and listen to one of our shows, whether it's in the archives or it's a live show, and you would give us a shout out on our Facebook page or our Instagram page or our LinkedIn page, that would make me so happy. We all love knowing that you are listening. All of our listeners, we just hit 1,000 followers on YouTube. Whoop, whoop, awesome. Our SoundCloud is expanding. Like, so many things are expanding. It's just so exciting. And we couldn't do it without all of our listeners, right? So that is my birthday request. Please, please.
Happy birthday. Yay! I think that's a totally easy gift to do.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend any money. You just have to, you know, have some fun and listen to some wild cats. And speaking of wild cats, let's go over and see what's on the news today. All right. So as we said, we've got our featured host, Keisha Clark, here on the homepage, and you can listen to her show on Sovereignty. Then we've got, remember the 3 columns down here where you can see the latest of what was created. But let's go over to our first show starting out our week. Milica, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so boost your curiosity to enrich your sales with Lori Hawkins on the SOAR Experience on Monday at 9 a.m.
This woman, she knows sales, man. It is fantastic to listen to her. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's me.
Look who it is.
Go ahead, Keisha.
We have our beautiful Milica Jelenic as a guest with our lovely Junaline. And they are talking about the pleasure of vulnerability on the Joy Vulnerability Pizza radio show with Junaline. I said her name wrong the first time. Junaline. Oh my goodness.
Junaline. That's okay. You keep working at it till you
get it. Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Pleasure of vulnerability. I can't wait to hear that conversation, Milica.
That sounds juicy. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, when we were discussing it, it was getting juicy.
Nice.
Very cool.
Then on Everyday Joy with Candace Mao, she has a creative approach to joy, and her guest is Lydia Kravis. So that'll be interesting. She talks about joy all the time, so that she could uncover another way. Definitely something we want to pay attention to.
Cool. And then after that, we've got the BU Parenting Show with Mary Dravis Parrish, and her show this week's called Parenting with Courage. I think just being a parent means you have courage.
It's courageous to be a parent. Correct. And do check out, Mary has her own book that she's authored called Empowering Parents and Empowering Kids. You get all the links right here in her host pages.
Beautiful.
Then,
go ahead.
Then we have our lovely Corinna Stoffel, and she is having her English show this week. She does her show in English and German. This week she's talking about what can we learn from nature. which I think there's quite a bit to play with there. So
Yes.
definitely check out that topic.
Definitely Dancing with the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have our financial whisperer, Kathy Cook Noble. She's talking about your words affect your finances. And she has a guest this week, Christine Noble. Yes, same last name. It is a relative of hers by marriage. And they're going to have a big conversation about words. And Kathy is also an author. You can check out her book. Here it is. All Ladies Should Use the F Word. It's a fabulous book, ladies. Check it out. And gentlemen, too.
Next, it's my show. What a kiss tells you about someone's personality. But it's going to be fun and interesting. If you just knew what you knew on that first kiss, would you keep going?
I love that.
Everybody I just had to touch my lips. Then kicking off our Wednesday, we have Alfie Joe. And Alfie Joe is talking about probably music and probably magic.
It's hard to say when it's in Chinese and we don't speak Chinese.
Right? Yeah. She does it in 3 different languages, Chinese, Dutch, and English. And so the following 2 weeks will be probably Dutch and then probably English following that. But always fabulous. Even if you don't understand the language, you understand the music for sure.
Yay! Then we have our bringing up our Wednesday. It is, and you're going to have to help me with her name because I'm used to calling her Adie. So it's Adine P. Finola, I believe, for her show In Pursuit of Truth. This week she's talking about protecting your sacred truth with boundaries. And Adine has an exquisite book called My Exquisite Purple Life as well. She is just so much fun to listen to. She loves her life. She loves what she gets to do, and it comes through in everything she's doing. And her show is just taking off like a rocket. So definitely check out In Pursuit of Truth.
Yes, yes, yes.
We've got How to Risk in Love After a Heartbreak with Megan and Suzanne. I think that's going to be an incredibly interesting and vulnerable show. So I'm going to have a listen to that on Love, Life, and All Things Weird, Wednesdays at noon EST.
Exactly. Then we've got Lindy Chafin-Start, and she's saying, you're invited, creative and timely event advertising. She definitely knows what she's talking about with the advertising. She had so many friggin' amazing ideas last week. I was like, typing them and writing them out. I couldn't stay on top of all of the ideas. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a 5th person to implement them all. So full of this.
That's why she's our marketing maven.
That's right. That's right. Keisha, tell us about this show.
I'm super excited for this week's show. I have a guest, Dr. Andy Harper. She also is a host here on the network. And we are talking about Beyond Words with Animals. So we're going to do part 1 of this conversation on Wednesday on Aligning Divine. She's going to be my guest. And then I get to be her guest for part 2 on Friday.
Oh, how
her
cool.
show, Dr. Andy's World. So we're actually just really looking at what is animal communication? What does it mean to communicate? And really, do animals need to understand us? Do they need us to understand them for us to be able to communicate? Or is there something else actually possible? So,
I can't wait for that one.
Yes. And Lily, of course, will be chiming in. She's actually my co-host. So
Absolutely.
Next, we've got Sleeping with the Enemy, Woke to the Elements of Intimacy with Dana Lewis. So Dana, she doesn't have a guest on this week, which I always really enjoy her shows when she's just her too, because she does have a lot of guests, but it's fun to hear what she knows too. So we're going to be hearing all about Sleeping with the Enemy. I've done that before.
I can't even say a word. Oh my God, that's so funny. And then my show this week is called I Failed to Speak. And this is going to be, I'm not going to cry right now, but this is going to be one of the most vulnerable shows I've ever done. And I've never fully put everything out there. And so from the radio show host and speaker who's been doing this for more than 10 years, you're going to learn about the time when I failed to speak. So I hope you guys come. It'll be, bring your Kleenex.
Okay. Awesome.
Then we have streaming this week is a TV episode I did with Megan Asselin. I adore this woman, and interesting. Megan and I met when I left my husband and moved into a townhouse complex, and she lived there with her mom. And Megan was 10 years old at the time. And we haven't physically seen each other since she was 10, but we've stayed in connection, thank goodness to social media. And she is talking about making a difference with mental health, and she shares her journey. And, you know, we've heard the stories before, but every story is such a gift to learn from and grow in. This is going to touch your heart, you guys. This is going to be a beautiful show to enjoy.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. So this is our Friday kickoff show with one of our newer hosts. Her name is Carla Taylor, and her show is Bring Your Brilliance. This week she's talking with Demetrius Witherspoon. Their topic is Get Submerged in Filmmaking. And I think that's kind of cool.
Do you know Demetrius?
I have heard of Demetrius. I don't know him.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Next, we've got our Dr. Deborah Unipan, where she's going to be on, well, she has her show called Awakening with Angels, and this week's topic is, what does it mean to become a fairy for a week? Or your life? Like, what if you've been one your whole life? But I like that, because fairies are cool.
Yep.
All right. Keisha, you want to take this one away?
Yes, we have our lovely Lisa Bennett with her show Infinite Energies. This week she is talking about staycation in your home. And Lisa is our resident space whisperer. We have lots of whisperers on this network, but they talk out loud on their show.
They're all radio show hosts, but everybody's whispering.
It'd be awkward.
She's our space whisperer, and she has such an amazing set of capacities with communication with spaces, and it's spaces of all kinds. So it's not just about decorating your house. It's really about connecting to the spaces you have and the spaces that maybe want you to own them or be your owner,
right,
in your life. So how fun could it be to connect with multiple spaces and places and receive contribution from them?
That would be fantastical.
Yeah.
And then we have...
Oh, looky.
Looky who it is. This looks familiar.
Yes.
Really strangely familiar.
So on Dr. Andy's World, we've got Beyond Words with Animals Part 2, and Keisha Clark is her guest this week. How cool is that? That's going to be for all you animal lovers out there, you got to pack the big punch this week. How cool is that? So that's everything that we've got going on. And you know what? Stay tuned, because day to day we often have some new exciting things we want to share and talk about. And you know, we've got nearly 5,000 shows in archives that you can go check out and listen to. Just search any topic. Find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, everywhere. Wherever
you like listen to one show a day, you'd have a show for the next 12 years.
Oh my God. Seriously. Yeah.
Melissa and her math. I love it. You'd have to listen to 2, otherwise it would take you another 12 years to get,
catch up to the other ones that were being made in that 12 years. It's actually like you have shows for life, guys.
Pretty much, yeah. You are covered.
Fantastic shows, fantastic. Well, listen, everybody, have a fabulous week. Have an enjoyable week. Pamper you, and remember, it's time to party.
Woo! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Christine!
Happy birthday, Christine! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you!
With lots of shows.
That's the best birthday song ever. Bye.